If you've been scrolling Instagram or YouTube lately, you've probably seen dozens of junk removal companies claiming they're making 20, 50, or even 100K months.
Apparently everyone's a millionaire, but here's what they're not telling you. And we know because we've been doing this well over a year and did $240,000 in revenue in our very first year.
Today, we're going to break down if starting a junk removal company in 2025 is actually worth it. We're going to give you the unfiltered truth, the good, the bad, and the expensive mistakes that could kill your business before it even starts.
All right, so let's get into why junk removal works in the first place.
I think people don't realize the growth of the industry. It's on pace to growing 6% every year, and it's a $12 billion industry already. People have tons of stuff.
Trash just doesn't end.
It's a consumerism thing, guys. Like, we live in an age where like people want stuff all the time, but they don't want the responsibility that comes with the stuff. Like this living room, for example, if we move, we have to bring this stuff with us or get rid of it. Now, a lot of your competitors will be gone in the next 12 months. Junk removal has a high turnover because it's very easy to get into, but people don't treat it like a business. A lot of junk removal companies do not focus on actual junk removal. They just try to fill in gaps with services like moving, hauling, transportation, handyman work, landscaping, or like Jackie was saying, other companies like landscapers will come do junk removal when it slows down for them. That truly is the biggest advantage, because if you understand that and you can weather the seasons and focus on junk removal only, you will outlast your competitors.
Now, another thing that people don't realize is the market is big enough for a lot of people.
We're not just saying this to say it, we're saying it because we experience it, okay? We live near Austin, which we have 140 plus direct competitors to us, and another 300-400 companies like we had talked about earlier that have dump trailers that do junk removal when they're slow. We're still consistently making $30,000-$40,000 a month in the busy season. And on top of that, we're giving out jobs left and right. We've basically given a job away. Like this month, we've given 15 jobs away. Actually, now it's 17 as of this morning, which is basically one job a day. So we're already so busy that we're able to do that. And in like the top guys in our area are all doing 30, 40, 50, and I think some of them closer to $100,000 a month. So if there's room for another company to come in and do 30 or 40,000, there's room for you too. But here's where most people get it wrong. They think because the opportunity is real, that starting is gonna be easy. And the truth is, that's the biggest myth in the business.
For most businesses, you'll need like $50,000 to $200,000 just to get started. But in junk removal, it's very possible to get started with like less than $5,000.
When we started with $0 in the bank account and no credit to leverage. And we rented U-Hauls in the beginning to make things happen. We had to ask for deposits so we would have the money to go out. And so after those first few jobs, we went out and I low bid everybody on Facebook to try to get a truck. I only had $1,000 to spend on the truck by that time. And so everyone with like $3,000, $4,000 trucks, I would bid like I'd just say, hey, my name is so-and-so, I'm a veteran, I'm trying to get a company started, really looking for a truck, could you help me out?
Another thing that we should mention is like, when we say we started with U-Hauls, don't drag it out. Like that ate at our profit a good bit, but it's what we had to do. You just have to get out of that situation as soon as you can.
Yeah, that is not the ideal. It's the worst situation. And we tell people now the U-Haul story sparingly, because the reality is if we maybe put it off for another 90 days and saved our money, we could have got a truck sooner and then wouldn't have had to start with a U-Haul maybe. It's a last case resort. And then from there, we got the truck and we started doing jobs out of the truck bed, making $300-$400 a truck bed.
We did a couple jobs there and then we just saved our money again and bought a utility trailer. It was really small, but it got us a lot of money.
It acted as a second truck bed, and between that truck, the used 2001 Dodge Ram with 240,000 miles, and our utility trailer, we made $65,000 in 6 months. We've gotten all those comments about like, well, that's not very much, yada, yada. Guys, listen, this is our very first year in business with no type of mentorship or training or insight on the business, no money. So for us, that was a lot.
Yeah, and I think another thing that people don't realize is like people live out of what they like their means, what they can afford. so often. We didn't have a couch. We had a $40 coffee table. Our apartment was bare. We had my car. My car takes like $40 to fill up on gas, and you can use it for 2 weeks. Like, we didn't have anything. We didn't have payments besides rent. Like, we didn't live in a way that we couldn't afford.
We still don't. I just think it's funny when people are like, well, that's not that much money. Like $65,000 over 6 months is over $10,000 a month. And when you're only making combined less than $3,000 a month, and now all of a sudden you're making $10,000, that's huge. I don't care what anybody says.
So let's just go through kind of our story real quick. We started with nothing. We started with U-Hauls. About a month into that, maybe even less, we got into a truck, and then less than 3 months after that, we had a truck and trailer, and then by like the 6-month point, we got our dump trailer. So that leads us into a very important point.
You have to grow into the need for the equipment. You can't buy the equipment and think the need will come, the need will follow. We work with so many other junk removal companies now, helping with the mentorship and teaching people the right way. And one of the most common things we run into is people spending $5, $10, $20, $30,000 on equipment before ever knowing how to find the jobs. You just be mindful of that, guys. Don't start a business to chase payments. Start a business to make some extra money and get yourself out of the rat race. That's what it's about.
Now, you might be thinking that this is too good to be true, and you're right to be skeptical, because there's 5 massive mistakes that kill most new companies.
Mistake number 1, buying expensive equipment that you don't need yet.
Mistake number 2, not knowing how to price jobs. That is your easiest way to lose money and to not grow your business.
If you're not tracking your numbers, guys, just start now. And if you don't know what I mean by tracking your numbers, I want you to go start a Google spreadsheet, and every number that comes in and out of the business, track it, because that will show you like, oh, I'm working and not making that much money, or I'm not working enough and that's why I'm not making money. But even on the smaller scale, it's like you made $300 and then you have $55 in gas for the day. You spent 4 hours doing the job, and you still have insurance and other costs associated. And if you don't know that, then like you're just losing money. Like you're basically just going out and doing jobs for free. The next mistake that we got, saying you will beat any competitor's price. I don't know why people do that. That's crazy. I don't think we've ever done that. Because here's the thing, I really have no idea what my competitors are pricing jobs at. And that's a problem with the industry, right? Like there's not a standard way to price for the most part, but we're not here to be the cheapest company.
We like lost jobs too in the beginning, and even now we've lost a couple because we're too expensive, right? But sometimes people want things removed for $50. With that, it's like half of our truck.
Yeah.
That just doesn't make sense to us, and we're not gonna beat that over somebody that's not paying for insurance, not actually dumping at the landfill and all of that. So next mistake is people like to see success really quick, so they don't hold on during those like slow periods. They don't keep trying.
Guys, business is ebbs and flows. It's gonna do this. The best businesses find a way to stay consistent across the board, but when you zoom out on a timeline, right? Like if you look at our first 6 months of business and our last 6 months of business, they're 2 totally different businesses. It's not even in the same league. We're coming into slow season now, and we're already starting to see it. But our slow season now is like making 20 to 30 versus 2,000. You guys aren't going to succeed overnight. This is not this, Rome wasn't built overnight. The same thing applies here. Give yourself some grace. Put it on a 90-day timeline or a 180-day timeline or a 1-year timeline. You'd be very surprised at what you can accomplish doing little things over the period of 5 years versus doing a whole bunch of stuff in 1 year or 6 months or 1 day or 1 week. And the thing that I feel like happens the most is people underestimate the amount of output you need to have in order to be successful. And you have to get callous to that. Like you don't know what hard work is until you start doing the hard work.
And that brings us into our last point. Most people do not track their expenses. You need to be tracking your expenses.
If you really want the root reason why Jackie and I have been successful, is because we track everything.
If you don't know what to track, but you're trying to find a way to know what to track, like if we came across a problem and we were like, oh, we could have avoided that if we had just tracked this, then we start tracking that.
The lessons come. They come and you figure out what you need to be analyzing. But there are some people that are okay with just kind of going with the flow and just doing whatever. And that is how you get yourself in trouble, because then you really, really don't know what's going on with your business. So after talking about all this and seeing the opportunity, but also looking at the real costs and the major pitfalls, here's my honest answer. Is junk removal in 2025 worth it? Absolutely yes, but only if you can avoid the 5 mistakes that we had just talked about.
So again, start small. You start with what you can afford. You prove that you're able to make money off of junk removal and that you're able to make a living off of it, and then you grow. You slowly scale up.
Guys, you got to focus on your systems and your customer service.
Yeah, I think a lot of people too focus on just their profit, and if you don't know what you're spending, like there's chances are you're probably not profiting as much as you think you are, which means you can't grow.
And here's the $10,000 formula, okay? If you already have a way to find leads and you've proven to get 2 or 3 jobs using that system, figure out how to do more of that system and continue to do it over and over and over again. The 2 things that people always try not to do in junk removal is go find jobs and sell them. Like that's the work that most of you guys are avoiding. If you just focus on those 2 things. I'm not talking about posting one time on Facebook or reaching out to your friends one time or, looking through Facebook. Listen, if you do it 1 time or 2 times or 5 times or 10 times, it's not enough. You have to do more.
So when we say to not expect results overnight, that does not mean that you can't have results very quickly. If you set yourself up to succeed, you can see results and have a livable income in junk removal in like 1 to 2 months.
There are going to be outliers. Like Jackie and I would consider us outliers for the industry.
I think we're bringing a lot more outliers in the industry.
We are. That's exactly what I was going to say, is that there are people under our guidance that are way ahead of us. Like they're basically closing in on us and they've only been doing it for a couple months. So it really just shows when you have proper guidance and you take things slow and you do things the right way, it pays dividends.
Just stop thinking that things are impossible.
Don't have a limiting belief set. If you want to make this happen, you'll make it happen, but you also have to be committed. One of the things about Jackie and I is we've been 100% committed to the goal since the beginning. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Like all these people that are way ahead of us that we're mentoring, they try. Like there's people that just wouldn't try and that wouldn't be fit to be a client of ours.
And the last thing I'll leave you guys with is like, if you make $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month at your 9 to 5, if you want more control over your life and you want to have a flexible schedule and you actually want to be able to go out and do things when you want to do them, junk removal can be the perfect option. It's not hard to make $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 in junk removal. It's not really hard to do 10 or 20 either. But I think, for some people, a certain sweet spot would be making right around the 10 mark or a little bit less, and you will work so much less than you do at your 9 to 5. If you like this video, subscribe to our channel and drop a comment below.